if you're a health and safety professional and you're looking to go digital with audit, then this is the best template to use. In fact, Power BI actually helps us to go digital as far as performance measurements are concerned. Now, audit is an important health and safety activity, and so it is really important that you measure performance from your audit. And so without wasting time, let's get right into it. So this ISO 45001 Power BI template comprises of some exciting features. Now, first and foremost, you're looking at the audit summary report. Now, this audit summary report comprises all the responses you get from your audit. And so we have the compliance, the major NC, the minor NC, the OFI, and then we have the major and minor NC over here. So that's more like the ISO non-compliant count. So you're counting how many major NC, how many minor NC, and over here is ISO compliance score. So basically we are counting, or we are tracking the score, the compliance levels for each of the clauses, as you can see. And then over here is the overall score, overall compliance score, and here is the overall non-compliance score. Now here we have the ISO compliance breakdown, which is simply the main clauses, the audit questions that were asked, the number of compliant, the number of major, minor, OFI, and the compliance level or the compliance score. So as you can see, it's here as 84%, and that's exactly what is here. The next dashboard is a ISO 45001 CAPA analysis. So we are literally tracking corrective and preventive action, and we are doing some analysis from it. So every non-conformance, every deviation that you get from the audits, especially major and minor, you want to track some level of action. So those actions that we use to close these non-conformance, that's what we log into the system. So we're going to find that in the template. And so we are tracking the total corrective and preventive action, how many are open, how many are closed, and what is the CAPA closure rate or corrective action closure rate. So over here we can tell the count of corrective actions and preventive actions for various clauses. Over here we are counting the number of non-conformances that were identified, and then here we are looking at the deadline status. So there's actually a system of tracking the deadline based on the target data you're going to be setting. And again, we are tracking the responsible person, the action priority levels, and then the status of action, whether closed or open. Now the next dashboard is ISO clause intelligence dashboard. So this is actually what you're using to see at glance for various clauses and sub clauses what was the compliance score. Then again, we are looking at the major, the minor, and then the OFI. So this one is helping us to drill down, go deep into each of the sub clauses and put things into proper context. And then again, we have the action plan. As we do mention, every time we identify deviations, you want to make sure there's an action tracking system. And so we have the action plan that we are using to track the corrective action closure. And so we have the number of corrective action here. We have the number that are open, number that are closed, the closure rate. Okay, I think I didn't move. I probably click back, right? So we have basically the action plan. So this is the action plan that we have. And then we have the main clauses, the NC, the corrective action, that was identified, as you can see. And then the priority of the action status, the responsible person. Yes, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so we have just the summary report, the corrective action analysis, the clause intelligence analysis, and then the action plan. So this is basically what the audit report is. So this audit report makes your work very, very digital. All you need to just share this link with your stakeholders. Now I'm going to be showing you the Excel file itself. So this is the Excel file, which is the audit template, the data source. So Excel is a structure, but take note, this is a template on its own, and this also has its own dashboard. So we have sort of, table of contents. Basically, that's how we structure our template, and we have the approved list of root causes. And so you're going to be providing root causes in your corrective action plan. All right. So we have the scoring criteria, which is basically compliant, OFI, minor, and major NC and their definition. And we have the checklist. Now, the interesting update that we introduced is the fact that previously we used to be entering X. So we used to use X to denote compliant or minor or major or whatever. But right now we've introduced check boxes. So what it means is that all you need to do is just simply check the box. And that's it. So this is more ergonomically friendly because you simply have to work from your computer without really have to touch your keyboard to be typing X's and all of that. So you can comfortably complete your checklist like this, and then where necessary you provide evidence, you provide the audit evidence or whatever expectation evidence, and then that's pretty much it. So once you're done, then this is the summary report. This is the summary report of everything that's happening within the checklist, and then we have the corrective action tracker. All right, so the interesting thing is that every major or minor NC that you identify is going to transfer automatically. So let's have a look at this. The first minor NC, right? When you go to the CAPA tracker, we have the major NC. So you have a major NC here, right? And that is clause number 4.1. So let's go here and have a look. The major NC, that's this one. If I uncheck it and I click on compliant, let's go and see what happens. You see it gets removed. All right. So once we go back and we click on the major NC, you see that it comes back right there. So all the major NCs get transferred here. And all you need to do is just use a slicer to simply filter the blank, remove any manual entry because the corrective actions are going to be manual entry. And so We use a blank to clean up, remove all those entries, okay? And then we apply the filter to sort of filter out the minor and major NC. And then we simply provide the root cause and then the corrective action. All right. So in every subsequent audit that you want to do, you just create a copy of this report, and then you have to just make sure you clean up the old, inputs that you provided, which are manual inputs, and then you sort of complete again. Now we have some template audit report, but usually you have your own audit report template. Now this is a dashboard. This is a dashboard in Excel. We are counting how many audit questions, how many compliance, how many major, minor, and OFI, and you see the audit score is the same, 84%. And then we have all of these other reports. So these are the reports you can actually use for your own internal report. If you want to put together a very nice audit report, you can actually use some of these visuals to put together a very nice report. But the most important thing is that you don't even have to do that, because we have the Power BI version that makes it very, very exciting. So let's go back to Power BI and let's have a look. As you can see, the audit score is 84%. So what it means is that the exact thing that we have in Excel, that's what we have in Power BI, except that Power BI gives us a lot more room to maneuver as far as analysis is concerned, just because we want to bring our reports online. All right. And so let's try to understand the Power BI file itself. Now, this is the Power BI file itself. This is how it looks like whenever you download the template and you have the Power BI file. But before that, you need to make sure that you have installed Power BI desktop on your computer. So on all the templates, which you're going to look at before you even make a purchase, you're going to see the link, right? So you can actually engage with the reports and everything. Make sure that you come to download Power BI. All right, you download Power BI from Office Microsoft downloads page, right? So that's it right here, Microsoft Office download, and you download it. That's the Power BI desktop right there. Just download it. Once you download, then you have access to Power BI desktop, and that is how you can see the file. If you don't download Power BI desktop, you will not be able to see the file, because just like how you need Word documents or Microsoft Word to be able to open Word document, or PDF file to be able to, or Adobe Reader to see PDF file, that's the same way you need Power BI desktop to be able to see the Power BI file, and so be able to open the file like this. And what do? You simply come to the data source, all right, transform data drop down list, you click on it, and then you locate where the file is. All right, so currently we have the file on the desktop, so I've just dragged it onto the desktop. But before we even do that, we need to make sure this file is closed, because if it's not closed, it's not going to connect. We click on it, we hit OK, and that's pretty much it. We apply the changes and we wait for it to load, as you can see. So it's just loading, and it's all gonna check. Okay, so there we have it. All of them is checked. So let's go and let's open the Excel file again, and let's try to delete some entries. Okay, so let's quickly go to Auditing Tool on the desktop, and then let's try to change some of the responses. Like assuming we uncheck this, let's uncheck everything for context, right? So that we can see clearly that context, there's nothing for context, right? So let's uncheck all of this. Let's uncheck context, because it is going to take time. Like here, we are done on checking context. So let's close this. You need to always make sure you close it, and let's go back to Power BI and let's refresh. All right, so let's come to the dashboard like this so that we can see what's happening, and then let's refresh. So we refresh, or it's going to take some time to load, and you're going to notice that the context doesn't have any record. So there we have it. Context does not have any report. So the context is all gone. So this clearly tells you the template is plug and play. So everything that transpires on the Excel sheet, you can actually, it's going to replicate on the dashboard. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now the question is, how do you grab this template? Take note that whenever you visit our online or our website, we have the Power BI over here. You click on it, it brings you to the Power BI landing page. We have all the templates listed down in here. As you can see, you click on it, it brings you to the Power BI, basically online reports like this. You go to getting started and you click on purchase. It's going to take you to the website, and that is where you can actually scroll down and make a purchase. Now, this is not a free template. This template, it's a lot of effort that has gone into it, and for that reason you have to buy it. But if you're not interested in buying it and you want to learn how it was built, we have a special package for you. That is our template build masterclass. You're gonna purchase, and then we'll actually train you on how it was built. But if you don't know Excel, you don't know Power BI, you want to learn from scratch, then you need to enroll in our academy. And that's how come you can transfer knowledge. We can help you to build a skill, because the fact is that nothing good comes for free. That's the whole point. But if you want free, you can always visit our website, go to our store. We have some free templates. Watch our YouTube videos to understand a few bits and pieces of things. But if you want the roadmap, then you need to connect and come for class. I'm going to see you guys in another video. Bye for now. Cheers.